Hello, my fourth grade artists. We are going to start our Wenzel Hablik inspired picture today. I put a PowerPoint or a slide presentation on the Google Classroom that will tell you more about the artists that we're being inspired by. We are really looking at his Starry Night, not Van Gogh's, but Wenzel Hablik's Starry Night, because it has a lot of the swirls and things we're going for this project. Our main focus for this project is really understanding the element of art, form and space. Ironically, we are doing a space project to do space, but in art, space means how to get depth and distance in your work. So for this project, you're going to need some black construction paper or black paper. It could be cardstock, whatever you have. We're using a 10 by 14 piece in class because I've learned that fits on our desk perfectly. You can go smaller, you can go bigger, use what you have at home. We'll also need 2 strips of black construction paper at different widths. One needs to be thicker than the other, and they at least need to be as wide as the paper you're using. We're gonna do a stencil trick with that. You need some chalk pastels. I went through all our chalk pastels at school and I broke them into pieces so everybody could have individual Ziploc bags. So if you have chalk pastels, that will work. Sidewalk chalk probably could work for this. It won't be as vibrant or as dark as colors, but use what you have. I am more than happy to put together a packet for this project and have it in the office for you to pick up. I will try to give alternatives. Worst case, if you don't have sidewalk chalk and you're not comfortable coming to school, you could use the side of a crayon, but we can also talk about that on an individual basis. I can try and brainstorm with you different things. So by the time this video is posted on Google Classroom, there will be a packet for each NTI 4th grade student for this project. For today, for right now, for day 1, you're gonna need your black construction paper or some sort of black paper. You'll need your 2 different pieces of black construction paper. You'll need sidewalk chalk. You'll need some scissors, and you'll want baby wipes or a damp paper towel to clean your hands because chalk does get a little messy. You'll also want, if you're using your table like I'm at my house, put some paper down. I didn't have a newspaper, so I'm just using old drawing papers because you want to protect our table because chalk pastels, while it's one of my favorite mediums, it can be a little messy and we don't want to get your surface messy. So get your black paper, and once you're ready with your chalk pastels, come back to this video. All right. The first thing we're going to work with is we're going to use some white chalk. Now, before we start drawing on this, we have to start thinking about placement. We want our sky to be above, like the top 2/3, and we want to leave the bottom third blank. So if we're making spirals and swirls and concentric circles, I don't want to cover this part because we're going to be doing a stenciling trick with this paper. So kind of measure out where your paper is and how you think you'd like that, and kind of in your head start thinking about, I don't want to go past this point. Some kids in 4B, because they did this before us, they put a tiny little mark of chalk right there to tell them not to put anything down past that level where they want it to be. So it depends on how big your extra papers are. It's up to you. So usually about the bottom third is what we want to keep blank. So when we're working with everything, we want to keep it in that top 2/3. All right, enough of the math and the fractions, right? Let's get to some art. So the first thing I want you to do is find about the center of where you're working with. So from here to here, this is about the center. We're gonna use white chalk or something really light if you don't have the white, and make concentric circles. Now concentric circles are kind of like a bullseye, circles inside of circles. So I'm gonna start by making a dot, and I'm just gonna go around and add my rings. You can use your chalk going straight up and down for a skinnier ring. I can use the side for a more chalky ring. Just remember, when you get to that area, you need to stop. But I can still pretend and do my rings like this. All right, so figure out what you like, the thinner or the thicker. So I didn't cover my bottom third. I can kind of probably connect that one. All right, maybe I can connect that one too. Once you're done with the white, now I want you to pick some colors. We're gonna be creating our galaxy sky. So you kind of want to use those cool colors, those purples, blues, and greens. If you're using the ones I have in class, this set has several. You have 2 blues, 1 purple, and 2 greens. So now after you do your concentric circles, I want you to take a color that strikes your fancy. Right now, this blue is really looking good to me. And I want you to start at that center and go over the white in a spiral. Now I could go on the tip and make something really small, or I could use the side of my chalk pastel and make it really fill in faster, whatever you like. So just work on that spiral pattern and add some blue on top of that. Then pick another color. We're gonna do like 3 to 4 different colors on top of the white. So just have some fun with it. I went one direction the other way. I'm gonna go in spirals the other way. All right, maybe I wanna add this darker blue. And this time I wanna kind of fill in, you kind of want to fill in all the black construction paper in the top. So it's not so much about adding the different layers, which is really cool. We wanna kind of get rid of that black. I think I'm okay with that. So once you get your colors the way you like it and your paper looks mostly full, then you need to get a finger, just one finger, maybe 2 at the most. And you're gonna start in the middle and you're gonna start blending. And you're gonna give it that kind of wispy outer space, soften those lines. You don't wanna blend it so much you lose those lines. You just wanna soften them. So think back last year when we did the ornament project. So only 2 fingers are messy. This is when a baby wipe or a white paper towel comes in handy. You will have chalk on your paper. Don't blow it. That will not make your parents happy if you blow chalk over the table you're working at. So look at it. Is it as vibrant as you want? Do you like it? I'm gonna go back in and maybe add a little bit more white. I really like that purple. So you can get it now and you can play with it. And say maybe I wanted it darker. Once it's smoothed out, just kind of get it the way you like it. Let's see what happens. It's a lot of just kind of playing and experimenting, but the hardest thing is knowing when to stop, right? So I'm gonna say this is kind of done. You should be able to see your spirals. It should just have kind of a swirling effect. Hopefully no really bright black paper. Try to keep that bottom third as clean as you can. If it gets a little dusty like mine, you can use that baby wipe to wipe away. So now clean your fingers really good. And you should have your 2 black papers. We're gonna deal with the thicker one first. So if you look back or remember back to the Wenzel Hablik Starry Night picture, the one at the very end of our presentation, it was a galaxy sky, like a universe with some mountains or some craters on it. So we're gonna pretend like we're standing on our very own planet looking up into the universe. So maybe our perspective is there's some mountains or some sort of landforms. So hold your paper. We wanna cut across it horizontal. Don't draw this out first, just kind of go for it. We're gonna freeform some shapes. Just decide, do you want something tall and wavy? Do you want something wide? Do you want to have lots of different valleys? Remember, we move our paper, not our scissors. And when you're done, it doesn't really matter if it's symmetrical, it's okay. Figure out the way you like it. I kind of like it that way first. So cut this paper and put that aside. And then do the same thing on this skinny paper. So add some texture and interest. Get those wiggly lines. Make some things be really tall. You can make this as complex or as simple as you like. It's really up to you. All right, now my paper is longer than my paper, so I can play with what I like. So I have my 2 different stencils. So take your bigger stencil and line it up so it just is above the sky. So I don't want to cross over the sky for a reason. We want to have it just under our sky and get it the way you like it. I have room so I can kind of move mine around. I think I know what I want to do. So I'm going to push my paper up. I'm going to come down here. So now I want you to pick brighter colors. You can use your red, your yellow, your greens, and I want you to color this outside edge with chalk. We did this last year with our ornaments. If you remember our Christmas ornaments that we made them glow, we're gonna try to make these glow like the Northern Lights. That's our goal. So I'm gonna take yellow and I'm just gonna start really laying on a thick layer of chalk. I'm using the side of my chalk because it goes faster. You do whichever feels more comfortable for you. All right, and for B, we thought it was really cool to sometimes layer the colors. So I might add, with the tip of it, just some red. Now I'm only drawing on the edge, and you really want to build up that dust. Don't blow that off. All right. Okay. You also don't want to do this on your paper for this next step. All right, so once you have it ready, you want to line it up. Remember, we don't be up into our sky. We want to be down below our sky some. I'm going to try to even it the way I like it. Good. So with one hand, hold your stencil down, and with the other hand, take 2 fingers and just push up. So just push all that chalk dust up into your painting or your picture. And you should see it almost look like flames coming off. So when you remove your stencil, isn't that cool? Yeah, so then you wanna clean your fingers. So now we have that illusion that there's something back there. This is when I like to take that skinnier piece and create another layer. Some of your classmates in 4B, I know you're in 4A, we did this on last week with 4B, they did several layers and they changed the color. So maybe this time I want just yellow. So I need to decide what I want to do. I'm going to color this and get lots of chalk. If you did not get that dust kind of flying up like that, you might need to go back and re-chalk your edges. So it's really nice and dusty. I can see the chalk layer. I'm going to see just what white does. So ooh, yellow, I mean, that looks really cool. But I like this bigger one. No, let's see. So get it the way you like it. I'm gonna line it up because I'm only gonna do 2 layers. Remember, you hold it down with 2 fingers, just push straight up. You're not rubbing in a circle, you're just pushing straight in a vertical line. So you're creating this stencil. When you're done, lift it up and you have layers of land. So it looks really cool. So if you did this and you don't like the way the yellow looks, you can always recolor this and try it again. Don't color straight on this though. This was as far as we got in our 1 class period. So I think this is a great stopping place for you. So you get your sky all set up, get your 2 stencils, and if you would like to have more than 2 layers, you can have up to 3. You really don't want your northern lights going too far into your galaxy. When you're all done, you might want to tap your paper on your scratch paper. I would put a piece of paper towel over this and put it aside because chalk is messy and it does not dry. I will tell you at the end of this lesson how we can fix the chalk. I don't want you to use any fixative yet though, if your parents know what I'm talking about. So this is it. This is day 1. It's our Wenzel Hablik inspired universe. Next week, we're going to talk about painted paper and creating forms, and we're going to add planets and we're going to add stars, and it's going to look so cool. So I hope you're able to follow along. When you finish this step, go ahead and snap a picture of it and send it in through that Google Classroom assignment. I want to see your swirled sky that's been smudged a little, and I want to see at least 2 layers of stencil like lights, if that's possible. If for some reason you don't talk pastels, talk to me and we'll figure out something else. So have any questions, please talk to me, email me, call me, we could Google Meet, whatever you need, and I will talk to you guys later. Good luck cleaning up the chalk mess. Bye guys.